apparently we're live with these. Are we live? Don't come on that screen yet. How's everybody doing? Are we live?
Oh, we just put a big sweetener on that now.
I know. It's not a very good light here, isn't it?
Oh, hang on.
There we go. A bit of ambient lighting. How is everybody today? Good. We seem to be quite dark, don't we? What's that? Why are we dark?
Hang on here. Okay, we shouldn't have just stuffed our faces with sweets before coming on.
I enjoyed the last one so much. I wanted another one.
I do apologise.
Okay, so I can't read. That's too far away, but you're going to have to read it, or bring your laptop near so I can read it. How's everyone today? Little bit of a strange surrounding, I have to agree. Sat on the sofa in a, where are we? Hilton Hotel in Maidstone. Got a few days off. I'm not doing anything, but Louise is...
You are?
Yeah, I'm just sat in my...
You haven't done your normal, can you all hear us?
No, sorry.
Can you all hear Louise? More importantly.
It's the same camera at the moment, isn't it? So I guess everyone can hear. Good, excellent. Yeah, so casual surroundings, casual clothes. I'm stuck in my hotel room doing a few bits and pieces, but Louise has something to tell us, hasn't she?
I have had the most amazing day. I have spent the day with Kerry at Gemology Rocks. So I have been taking my my Gem A Foundation course lab class, which started today and lasts for 3 days. I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous about going because the course is hard. There's a lot of science which I didn't anticipate, and it's very intense. So I was a little bit nervous, but it was amazing. I've just had the best day ever. Good. And I've actually feel really motivated. Yeah, I feel I kind of lost my mojo a little bit, I think. But after today, I feel really motivated and inspired to.
And you've got it back.
Yeah, to power forward. So it's just been the best day. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. And you've got another 2 days of this as well.
I've got another 2 days. So yeah, I'm super excited for the next 2 days going forward. Yeah.
So you've been looking at your gemstones through your loop today.
Yeah.
And you're testing tomorrow.
Yes. So I spent the whole day just looking at gemstones, which has been absolutely amazing. So today we've done, what have we done? We did organics, we did composites, and we did crystals.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's been fab.
Wow.
And I do feel, at the moment, I know I've got work to do, but I do feel a lot more confident. Just sometimes just somebody showing you things is... And
showing you the right way as opposed to...
Absolutely.
Looking on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Yeah. If you want to say Kerry's amazing, follow her on Gin and Gemstones, and I've learned so much. Yeah, and that's the thing. It is definitely about following the right people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a great feeling. Yes, brilliant. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's about following the right people because there is so much poor information and incorrect information out there, and it's when people like yourself and people like Kerry,
hands-on, who know what
you're doing, can really help, and that's invaluable, isn't it?
It's very good, isn't it? Priceless.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been great. But she also does the I don't know, I should find out what the course is called. It's like Gemstones for Jewellery Designers course. So if you do have a chance to do one of her courses aimed at people exactly like yourselves, then definitely you won't regret it. You'll just love it and learn so much, and it adds value to your work and also your confidence as well in buying and selling and working with these amazing stones.
Is that in person or is that via distance learning?
Oh, I think it's either. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll get some more information on that. You chat amongst yourselves and I will...
I can't answer a question though, just taking off the screen.
Oh, sorry.
And I've just got a very small screen in front of me. So good. I'm glad everyone's having a good day.
Yeah, the sun is
and
gorgeous.
You've had a good day as well.
I've had an amazing day.
And there was only 4 people there. You didn't know even how big a class it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's very much hands-on.
And she keeps the classes manageable so that everybody gets a chance to just keep up, really, and nobody gets left behind. Everybody...
Good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah, fabulous. Really, really
I'm kind of glad you like him.
amazing experience.
Because you're a tough cookie to please sometimes.
I know I am, aren't I? Yeah. So, sorry, I should have done this before, shouldn't I? I'll put the link up anyway. You guys chat amongst yourselves.
Okay. All right. No problems at all. So glad to see everyone coming on. Everyone, length of bangles. We'll come to that in a minute. You're doing the diamond for designers in Plymouth in person. Nice one. So Kerry comes out to you then and does that in person. That's cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely get in touch because this is it. Courses for designers, makers, and jewelers. This was the one I was thinking of.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You're doing the diamonds for designers in Devon, Plymouth, Saturday, 12th of June.
Fab. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Shall I can post it. Can I post this link or do you have to post? I'm not sure I'm allowed to post links.
You can post it because you're wide.
Okay.
Buffering, that's the hotel Wi-Fi.
There, that's if anybody's interested in the information on Kerry's courses, I've just posted it up in the chat. Yeah. Cool.
Excellent. We literally have only got an hour because we've got a table booked for dinner. So that's a good excuse to leave, isn't it? Well,
it's COVID times, isn't it? So they're very strict with the times, and you've even got to book the swimming pool if you want to go to the swimming pool. You can't just mosey on down there.
Yeah.
So, did you go in the pool today when I was working hard?
No.
Really?
No. I put all the films live, did some editing, and did some work on them on ABJ.
Well done. Okay.
I was a good boy. Didn't even go out. Didn't go out for lunch. Didn't go out for coffee or drink or nothing.
Didn't you have any lunch?
No, I had a banana.
That's terrible. I had to work on hours. Well, because it was amazing. I loved it.
I'm trying to get rid of this mint at the moment.
Yes. Should we have some questions?
We'll have some questions.
Do you want some questions?
Yes, please. Louise is going to ask me. I don't have a whiteboard. I can only explain things with my hands today.
Oh, that's not terribly effective, is it? Okay, we'll see. Dances with our bot is saying, anybody got a ring clamp handy? Andrew?
Not in my pocket.
I just made one and I had to guess the diameter, so hoping it's about right.
The ring clamp. They're sort of, what's that, 30 mil round diameter?
It's more.
Oh.
With one wedge that clamps ring between jaws, so no outside ring clamp.
Okay. Yeah, it's about that, isn't it?
A bit of paper.
No, okay. Yeah. If I find a stack, I'll find something.
Of course, I'm a model student. I did bring paper and pen.
40 mil, inch and a half, yes. Sounds about right to me. 6 inches long. Yeah. One end can be nice and rounded, like almost as if you've got like a cup burr over the end, so it's all nicely rounded. The other end then can be nice and square, so you can put on the rings with bezels upon the top as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Well done.
So I think I missed a question about insurance. Sandra's saying regarding insurance, I had to ask about gas before buying it. They terminated me on the spot, not for the gas, but because I accept money occasionally for my hobby, but it's not a business.
That's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are you, Sandra? Where are you located in the world? Yeah, that's not good, is it?
No.
Okay, that's the stuff.
Just sort of now. There's about Leica. It's a Leica microscope. It's very good.
Yeah.
There's also Marquis as well. I have a Marquis at the moment, but should be getting a Leica soon.
Spit that sweet out. I don't understand a word you're saying.
I'm still going. I'm still going.
Okay. Okay, but it's okay because Sandra found a new one with slightly better coverage and a slightly lower cost. Happy days, brilliant.
Even better.
Yeah. Okay, fabulous. Janet is still confused over upgrading her torch. I would love a little Smiths, but can't find supply for oxygen tank on the island. Of course, you're in the Canaries, aren't you? Does anybody have any advice or feedback on the sievert and best nozzles?
Well, you can always get an oxycon, an oxygen converter. So you don't need tanks, oxygen tanks. It just works by taking the air and converting the oxygen in the air for the torch. And here, a company called Tufnell Glass sells them. obviously they are for the NHS, but they work very, very well. I'll be getting my hands on one very soon. Sievert, I'd always buy a Sievert. Hang on.
They're noisy down there, aren't they? They're having a party. Can you hear them?
And you wanted to do it down there.
I did think, let's go out in the light of sunshine.
Okay. Hang on a second, what's it now? So I would always go with something like the handheld torches and then move up onto something like a Sievert. If you can get a Sievert, definitely go and get a Sievert. Obviously, go to Hamilton Gas in Ireland and get their jeweler's pack with a nozzle. Then also get the little neck that you can get. And I think the nozzle after that, there's a 3941, and that screws into the neck, and that should give you enough oomph for melting a whole load of silver and gold. So definitely that is something that I would definitely get. Smith's Little Torch is great, but as you said, if you've got to buy oxygen tanks, it's very expensive because you've got to pay for the loan of the tank, and then you've got to pay for the oxygen. But if you can get an oxycom, it's an oxygen converter, it's like a tank, there's like almost like an air conditioning unit, and you can connect your hoses to that. So I should be getting, in fact, Lee uses one of them. Lee from All the Glitters, he uses one. He says it's very good. It's a bit noisy because
that would put me off, I think.
Yeah, so it does that because it obviously works out and pushes air out. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be getting one soon, and we'll be able to find out all about it.
Great.
But the Sievert definitely just uses propane, no oxygen at all.
Okay.
You won't be able to do platinum with it though. Platinum is completely out of the question. It doesn't get hot enough. Sorry, Louise.
Great. Tanya is saying, what a beautiful day in the UK. Yes, it has been, isn't it? I wanted to say I joined at the bench and I've learned so much. Best £20 I've ever spent. So thank you. Oh,
thank you, Tanya.
Thank
and
you.
Don't forget, you're also going to be, if you continue your membership, you're still in for a chance of winning the prizes from our competition.
Oh yeah, don't forget that.
£3,500 worth of prizes every month you can win if you're a paid up member. So thank you, Tanya. Very kind. Thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely feedback. Janet's saying, I use leather on my Dremel vise, rough side out, cut leather off one of my husband's shoes. Rebecca is saying, Hamilton Gas Products have checked with the company I'm using it. Oh, that was a question. Sorry. Okay. Thomas is in an unbelievably sunny Almello. Okay.
Weight training belt. Nice. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
But for DHL charges and free qustions posted to you for order for qustions. Really? I mean, I'm quite surprised at that. Who was that? Who was that with them? Janet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the Hamilton Gas and qustions, both as the DHL charge and free qustions posted cheaper. Fair enough.
Sorry, it was a bit like Star Wars and I was scrolling on, wasn't I?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Paul's trying to photograph the art of jewellery design so I don't have to take a big book on holiday. Where are you going, Paul? I'd love to know.
Paul, have you looked on the forum? Because I think Thomas put a link to a site that has loads and loads of books that you can download on it. Maybe that book will be on it and it will save you the hassle of having to photograph every single page as well. So
yeah.
that might be an idea, and you can save that as a PDF.
Okay.
I'm not doing a car show on the way home, but I just arrived yesterday.
No, that's not be COVID safe.
It's
anyway,
not, no, I'm carving. Between you and me in the car, you can still do that.
I can car share with you. I can't live with you.
That's a... The barman said the beer wasn't gassy. Gee, me.
Good Lord. Okay, Rebecca is wondering, is it possible to calculate the length of metal for bangles? Kind of like a ring.
Same way, exactly the same way. Yeah, so there's, let me just try to think of this now. So yeah, it's the same principle, isn't it? As long as you get the diameter, you can times that by pi. Obviously, that'll be your circumference. But if you get the diameter, add the thickness of the metal, then times it by pi, that should be the complete length that you're going to need. 3 pi 1/4.
Yeah, I know what pie is.
We had a nice pie. What did you have last night? Cheesecake, wasn't it, for dessert?
That's nice.
It was. We shared it, didn't we? We didn't want to be too much for cake.
Yeah. Sophie is carving a bee out of wax. Fab.
Wow.
Fiona's saying Carrie is amazing. Going back to Gemology Rocks and Gin and Gemstones. Fiona follows her on Gin and Gemstones and have learned so much. Yeah, brilliant. If you don't follow Carrie, pop over to Gin and Gemstones on Facebook and give her a follow because it's just fabulous. It's really...
Say hello and tell her that we told you to mosey on over.
Yeah, Andrew and Louise sent you. Okay. She has to doing the diamond in person in Plymouth. Yeah,
that sounds good.
You're going to love it, Fiona. Oh, I'm going to jump.
Where in Plymouth are you, Fiona? Because who was the people who I was talking to? Magpie 925 down the Barbican. Yes.
Yeah, I just jumped now and I don't know.
You jumped too far back up now.
Oh,
yeah.
Here we are. Yes, Fiona. Yes, how do I forget? I'm doing the diamond for science in Plymouth. Yeah. Okay, blue backs. You're so good doing the Swan Bank holiday. Oh. Okay.
We're stuck in a hotel room, aren't we?
Well, we've been out on the courtyards, haven't we?
We have. You had a drink?
Yeah. Literally, we got home back here in the back to the hotel in the Alan Partridge in the last hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just didn't want people to go without us. Basically.
Amco, I'll give the video a like. Thank you so much, Amco.
Yes, I'm not quite sure whether I've got that still because I've had to change the settings because this is the webcam on the
computer. I can see the likes. Yeah, so that seems to be working.
We're also suffering a bit of cold.
I think it's the pollen. Yeah. Rebecca, could you possibly recommend a jeweler's? I've done that.
Yeah. So jewelry microscope, a Meiji, MEIJI. Meiji is one of the best. The best is going to be a Leica. I'd like to get my hands on the Leica S9D, which is the one with the camera on it. I don't use them enough. I don't really use them enough within the filming. So microscope, yeah.
Do you use it? Because I don't see you using it that much. Is it because you trained before you had it?
No, downstairs when I do my settings, I have it on my bench. I have the Meiji downstairs, and I do use it, and it really is good.
Okay.
But I want to try and use it more. Because again, I'll be getting a Leica, and I'll have that upstairs, and hopefully I can be able to use that a little bit better with some of the films that we're going to be doing. So yeah, a Meiji. You can buy these really cheap ones from Japan and China. Some people say they're really good. I've had a go at them, and if you're going to be using them quite often, you really need the optics that are absolutely spot on. So don't buy a really cheap brand because the optics really are not right for your eyes. But definitely in Meiji, they are as scarce as rocking horse poo, apparently. And they really are. I managed to put some feelers out, found somebody who was selling their Meiji because they were buying a Leica, and I picked it up. But they're very, very scarce. Okay. So just put the feelers out there, ask people, perhaps go along to some workshops, some jewelers that are near you if they use microscopes, and just say, when you're upgraded, think of me. That'd be your best.
Okay. Ines would like to flush a 0.3 diamond in a gold ring, but can't use a very thick and expensive ring shank. Could I dome it in a ring size so there is room for the culet?
Like to flush that, a 0.3 mil diamond in a gold ring, but can't use very thick of a shank. Could I dome it? Now, what you can do, and what I've seen a lot of people do, and I've done it on a few occasions, is when you use your burrs, don't throw them away. If your burrs are slightly blunt, when you come to push on the metal to burr it out, sometimes it'll produce a little bit of like a dip, like a divot as it's cutting. So you've got the depth of metal, it pushes the metal down. And I think the Victorians used to do this on the very thin lockets that they used to have diamonds in. They used to have a dull burr. And as you burr, you're effectively heating up the metal, and it's actually bending and pushing the metal downwards so the stone can sit into it. So you could do that. If you're doming a When you say a 0.3 diamond, is that 0.3 millimeters, or is that a third of a carat? We don't know.
Can you let us know and just pop it in the chat?
But does it have to be flush set? Because don't forget, you can always do half and half. So you take it into the metal a little bit, and then perhaps you then put a little bezel, shallow bezel, or jumping on top that would act as a bit of a bezel. So you can have best of both worlds, partly flush, partly bezel set. So that might be an option as well. Yes.
Great. Okay, Kristen has got a question on tweezers. What are the ones you use while soldering called? I have so many pairs that are just okay and would really like more precision.
I just simply buy bog standard stainless steel AA tweezers. Nothing fantastic. They're just simple AA tweezers. And I think downstairs we got about 3 or 4 pairs, upstairs 2 or 3 pairs. And yeah, they're just various stages of newness, really. I've got a brand new pair that I put a little sticker on that says Jason keep out. Jason
it's a bit more brutal than that.
Jason,
I would like to repeat what it says.
Jason keep off, because he will pick them up when he shouldn't. So yeah, just stainless steel AA tweezers. There's nothing fancy with them. I think I buy them with qustions or from Betts, and just trim them every now and again. Trim them, make sure they're nice, and just have a variety of tweezers. So perhaps you're doing some holding down, you can use some really old ones, or you pick up some fine solder, you can use some newish ones. So yeah, keep a few pairs in various stages of wear on your desk. But yeah, just simple AA tweezers, stainless steel.
Okay, Thomas is asking, Louise, what is your favourite gemstone? Oh my God, it's funny because I asked Carrie this today.
Did you?
Yeah, changes all of the time because I'm right at the very start of my my education and my journey of learning with stones, and you never stop learning, do you really? But at the moment, I think I'd have to say about a bit of a turquoise thing, because I never really wore it or really, I don't know, considered it until I put this on and we were sat in the sunshine and it just comes alive in the sun, doesn't it? There's something about it that just, it looks, completely different. So yeah,
basically you've raided the at the bench cabinet of all the stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, and watermelon tourmaline I love at the moment as well.
Nice as well. Yes, to get some slabs of that.
Definitely, yeah. So at the moment, but it's going to be different next week when I learn about something else, and I'm going to want that. So yeah, that's the thing. It's just the more you learn, the more you love, isn't it?
And what was Kerry's favourite?
What did she say?
Were you paying attention?
I was, yeah, wax stones. What else did she say? I was paying attention. Yeah. Let's have a look. Janet, 3/4 of a jam jar of small scrap. Most still has blue plastic attached. Is there a quick way to remove the plastic, i.e. soaking in suds?
I don't think it comes off. You just gotta scratch it off. What are you going to do with it? If you're going to sell it, you can just heat it up and melt it and burn it off. If you want to reuse it, you can still heat it up. If you want to put it into a little crucible, you can still heat it up and then it'll just burn off and melt and completely evaporate. If you want to do that way, that won't be a problem. So yes, you can do that.
Oh, Marcia is saying dry hair blow dryer over plastic and peel off metal.
Well, yeah, you can still peel it off, can't you? You can still scratch it off and peel it off. That is the problem, is the fact that she's got so much of it with all the blue covering still on it.
Yeah.
I think just heat. If you're going to melt it down, heat it up until it burns and it'll turn to carbon. The carbon will evaporate with the heat, and that'll be fine. Then you can still pour it into an ingot, and the plastic will be gone.
Okay. Blue Barks is about to buy GRS microblock. Most of my jewellery is small scale, but would you recommend getting the GRS XL that covers all sized work?
I've got the microblock, and that's fine. It's about 4 inches in length, something like that. And I think you can put most things in there. If you want to do your practicing, your engraving, your stone setting, you can put the plates on the top, and they can hold quite a big size. And then you can also get the attachments, the Alexandra or the Jura or the Jura attachments that go onto it as well, that you can do your really small stuff as well. But for me, the microblock is just fine. I have no need. You can still put sort of bangles in it as well. And if it is perhaps a little bit too small, perhaps you could get some thermolock and alter it in a way that encompasses a bangle or something like that, perhaps. There's not much point going any bigger. It's heavy. It's a heavy old thing anyway, even a small one. But the microbox fine.
Okay. Okay. Michael is asking, what is a quality engraving machine that you would... Oh, sorry. Yep. You could be reading them out yourself, couldn't you?
No, I got a sore throat.
Okay, sorry, Jonathan, I missed your question. Jonathan is saying, I have a question I've been unable to find an answer online or in books. How do you create a V-shaped prong for a Marquis or pear-shaped setting?
You just simply get rectangular section metal. These are a couple of new people, aren't they? Jonathan and Blue Bar, yeah? Haven't seen them before? Thank you for joining. Yeah, all you do is just get a simple rectangular piece of metal. You would mark it down the middle and you'd score it, or you'd get a burr, just a burr along the length, and then you get your piece of metal and then you fold it into like a 90-degree sort of, what's that thing called? 90-degree shape. And then you've got right angle, thank you. And then you can use that then to go on the edge, and you can fasten that down onto the claw setting or the edge. But that's the easiest way. Rectangular piece, scored, bent, Bob's your uncle.
Fanny's your aunt.
Fanny's your aunt, exactly.
Okay. Sorry, Michael is asking, what is a quality engraving machine that you would recommend?
I would myself always go for something like a Graver Mac or a Graver Smith from GRS. Again, I got the Graver Mac. Is it the G8? Or was it the Graver Mac? Can't remember what I've got now. But you can also get the Graver Smith as well. Really good machines. The one I've got has dual outputs, so you can have another handpiece, or you can attach a little micromotor to it. You can also have foot control as well as the palm control. So yeah, definitely go with a Graver Mac. They are expensive, but they're very good. Obviously, you're going to need a compressor to go with that as well to supply you with the
compressed air.
Compressed air. Yes, I'm slightly behind. Yeah, I hate it.
Okay. Should we have another question? Stop that moaning now.
Don't like any of this negativity in the room.
No, yeah, to quote Jason, enough of that negativity now. Biker, sorry, BMX. I don't know why I call you biker. I just see BMX and I think bike. Can you get an air unit that people use if they need oxygen? I.e., you can get an air unit that people use if they need oxygen. I use one for my glass torch.
The Oxycon, yes.
Bill, I have an oxygen concentrator. It works great. A little loud, but I don't need to have those tanks in my house.
It is a lot safer, I must admit. Yes, because obviously you could void your insurance if you do have compressed tanks in the house. And oxygen is more dangerous than propane.
I think they need maintenance as well, don't they, to keep them running? And because it's a pressure vessel, they should be. You should have a pressure vessel certificate as well. I think it's every 18 months or 2 years. I mean, obviously the idea is annually, but it should be inspected and just tested. Yeah.
Who would do that?
Oh.
The
guy I referred to you. Yeah. He's not much help to people in America, is he? I don't know. I think. I suppose you'd approach a dental machinery supply company, because they obviously use pressure vessels. Well, not obviously, but they use pressure vessels day in, day out, constantly. So they, or maybe approach your local dentist and just say who services your pressure vessels, and they'll be able to give you some advice as somebody local, which might be handy. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Then the mob is saying, is there a brand of setting burr that you prefer?
I obviously use Birch burrs. I think they're one of the best, but I have been given a whole load of burrs from a company called Comet with a K, and I haven't quite tried them out yet. I've still got to try them out. They're still pretty good. You've heard of Comet, haven't you, in the dental industry? Yeah. So yes, anything to do with dental industry's got to be good. So Birch or Comet, but for me at the moment it's going to be Birch.
Well, we're still working on a what do we call it? Not a themed Q&A. We did like the 4 days of soldering. The gonna do.
seemed that way too.
We're gonna do it.
It flew by for me.
Yeah, you love it, yeah. But we're gonna do is it a focus? I can't remember what we called it, but it was basically a
dedicated.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Burr hour, isn't it? Which will probably end up
Yes.
being the Burr
2 hours.
5 hours.
2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're working on at the moment anyway.
Oh, Tammy, I seen your message on the ticket system. We have to address that one.
Okay. Jake is asking, what are your thoughts on laser engraving? Is it durable? How affordable is it to get this service performed?
I don't know. There's obviously different depth that you can get. When it comes to hallmarking, you can go for a light or a deep etch.
It's like burn time, isn't it?
And they charge you more for the depth, don't they?
Mm.
So I don't know. We've never really tried. We've never really gone into it. We don't do an awful lot of hallmarking with lasers, engraving. We just have it stamped. But apart from that, I really don't know. There was I can't remember who it was now. No.
Can we go to Gail's question, because it is important?
Yes.
Which respiratory protection do you recommend?
Was it the N95s?
N95.
N95.
What's that?
It's for stopping pores and things going through the mask.
Okay.
N95. Got them in the polishing room, and I got them upstairs as well.
Okay.
Never used one. But they're
Andrew,
there.
can't say that, for God's sake.
Well, they're there. They're there. And I tell everyone, if you want a mask, there's the mask. And they go, no, it's okay.
But you need to lead by example.
There's
you need to put one on your
extraction.
face, but then
But I'm not in the
you can't
polishing
tell
room.
them.
I'm not in the polishing room.
Do you see where I'm at? Okay.
But yeah, I think, is it N95? They're just like the mask, something, the mask with a little.
What size? I didn't even know an N95. N95.
N95 mask.
Because this is the thing. Oh, then, yeah. N95 respirator, yes.
N95 respirator.
Particle filtering face piece, yeah, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing the mixing of your investment as well.
Yes.
That's why I have it.
Thank you about that, don't we?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Susan's saying capture velocity if possible, i.e. a smoke hood.
Okay, yeah.
Anne is saying, can you recommend a good pair of magnifying glasses?
I don't tend to use magnifying glasses. I tend to use the optivisor. I find I can't get on with glasses. Someone gave me the glasses that you go on, you got the little things on the sides and they come out and there's little lenses on the front. I just really could not get on with them because you've got to keep looking forward. You can't just like look to the side or anything like that because you've got to keep moving your head because the lenses don't move with you and they're so small. That's why I like to use an optivisor because it just comes over and comes across like that, doesn't it? So if you move your eyes left and right, you can still have the magnification. So, and they're Donegal optivisors. Always recommend an optivisor.
You're really without it.
I'll always have it on my head. Yeah, very good. So I never have the magnification glasses, but an optivisor definitely. Either a 4, occasionally a 5, and very rarely a 7 diopter. The higher the diopter, the greater the magnification, but the shallower the depth of field. Okay. So if you have a 7 and you're looking like that over your work, you'll hit yourself in the head with a hammer or or a saw because you got to go so close and the depth of field here. So that's why I always have like a 3 or 4. No, 4 or 5. 4 is my go-to.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Rebecca has been having some shoulder issues. I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
Yeah, feel better soon.
Ibuprofen's good.
Yeah, not long term though. No. Inez, it was a third of a carrot in his assignment, yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got problems there. You're definitely going to have to dome out the back or do it half and half, have half above and half below. Definitely. So sometimes you just have to turn it, or you can actually set it within the metal. And even though the cubit then would stick out below, you then would put perhaps a little jump ring on the underside to protect the cubit as well. That would be a way of protecting the bottom of the stem as well.
Okay. Susan is saying fire agate is my favourite stone, but it's hard to get.
Never seen fire agate.
Yes, you have. No, yeah. Oh no, I'm thinking of fire opal. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. No, I'm not sure. Yeah. No, I've seen photos of it.
Janet, I shall eventually buy a crucible to melt it down. Yeah, just use charcoal block and make a bit of a scoop in it, and you can melt it down inside that.
Jonathan is saying, I wanted to say thanks. I've just started my first learning course about silversmithing, and your videos have helped me improve my soldering.
Cool.
And even showed my teacher something she'd never seen. Don't gloat.
Sorry. So I didn't mean that. Did I say that out loud? Sorry.
Terrible.
I didn't mean that. Sorry, but well done.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. That's such a lovely thing to say. Lovely feedback, and we do really. He appreciates it as well.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Sure, plenty more. Perhaps you'll learn something. Or was it? Perhaps you'll learn something.
True.
Sorry, yeah.
Blue Barks is saying I'm setting, but yes, thought I could use Thermalot to start with. Okay.
Yes.
Stick with the normal microblock. Blue Barks, I've listened to so many, just been scared to chat. Oh no, don't ever be scared to chat. If you've not been on the chat, just start the chat, because we love it, don't we? And
it's nice to see new faces.
Yeah, I know very little, and we were talking about it last night, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised about how much I've picked up just from reading out the questions and listening. And sometimes I'm not listening because I'm racing ahead with the questions.
Did you hear that? The reason you go, oh no,
that questions are already answered. But yeah, it is really good. So I'm sure nobody knows less than me. But yeah, I just love being here. So
it is nice. It is nice just to come on and sit in the background and just to listen. I totally understand that. I totally get that. But it's also nice to partake. And if you just come into the chat and just go, hello, I'm new here. Everyone is so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. Everyone's so welcoming. There's not a nasty one amongst us.
No, absolutely. There was that one who came on the other week and I banned him. He wasn't a Jew or anyone interested in jewellery making. He was just a troll. So I got rid of him. Yeah, we laughed at him. And then he was gone. Janet, was it Janet? Sorry, I skipped ahead again. Has this happened? Yeah, Janet is going to go and be a slave in the kitchen.
Press
the like button. Thank you, Janet. Have any of you? Andrew, look after your throat. Yeah, he's just milking it, Janet. He's fine.
I'm not milking it at all.
You haven't spoken to anyone all day.
I know. It's good, isn't it? I just had to sat at that desk right there. Editing, uploading films. Oh my goodness me.
Sandra is asking, does Apple Bench have a video on making lever back earrings?
No.
Or is it best to just buy those ready-made?
It is always nice to make these things from scratch. We haven't got one on lever back earrings yet. It is something that, yes, we could do. Not at the moment because I'm stuck in a hotel room. Okay.
Susan's saying focus on burrs. Yeah, 6 days of burrs. Yeah, probably will end up being 6 days of burrs, Paul. Marcello is saying, I love jewellery. Do you consider you need an elite school or a 2-year regional programme will work? It's difficult, isn't it? Because some people love that structure, don't they? And I think it's kind of like, do you want a certificate or do you want experience and knowledge? And I like a certificate personally. But I'm edging more towards, I don't know, I like the achievement of having I've got this and putting it on the wall. But then I think you can collect them till the cows come home. But then unless you experience and practice and just keep learning, then it doesn't really mean an awful lot sometimes, does it? I'm not belittling.
And who is the certificate given by?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Don't get me wrong, structured plan, structured learning is very important.
Definitely, yeah.
Some people like it, as Louise said. Some people just simply don't like it and can't get on with it, and they just want to learn at their own pace.
A lot of the time, I think it depends on how motivated or self-motivated. Like, I need somebody to say, this is what we're doing this week, this is what we're doing now, and I need a structure to follow. Yeah. A lot of people, like all of you guys, amaze me because you just take control of your own learning, and I find that really difficult to do because it's easier for me to just, sit in the garden or open a bottle of wine or just sit watching the telly or reading a book or something else. So yeah, it's for me, something structured is better. A little bit of both, I think, is probably the answer.
And if you're going to do a course, make sure they teach you all the basics. Make sure they teach you not just how to do CAD/CAM or the flash stuff. You simply need to know how to do all the basics, how to do the soldering, how to do the piercing. As boring as it may seem, you need these foundations.
It's all the underpinning skills, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And don't forget, it's what do you say? It's the depth of learning, not the breadth.
Breadth, yes, that's my mantra, isn't it?
Very good.
I think you can have a breadth initially, but then once you've got that breadth, then you start going into the depth, don't you? So it's just, but it's knowing that there always is more. Everything is always deeper than you think, isn't it?
Yes, like an iceberg. There's more underneath than on top.
Yes, that's a very good analogy. I love your analogies. Okay, Marcella, what's your advice to start in this beautiful business? Ooh, throwing out the bench.
Buy books, look and ask, and
join forums. At the Bench has got a growing forum, isn't it? And Facebook groups are great.
Yes, it's one thing that Sonny said when he started. The guy from went out and before the final of all the glitters, he said that making jewelry is a very lonely pursuit, and he advises people just to go and talk on forums and message groups and Facebook groups and chat with people. Yeah. And you learn an awful lot.
Yeah, I think networking as well, because I know so many jewellers who don't know other jewellers.
Absolutely.
Particularly in the real world.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's why we just like connecting people.
Yeah, totally. Tammy, you're on about this caged pendants. That's what I thought it was, but probably say, it is there. It hasn't been taken down. Perhaps just search for caged in the search term, or bead or pearl, something like that, and it should come up within the search. And if you don't find it, I'll get the guys in the support to sort that out and send you a link to it.
Turkey Sandwich is saying always seems like
that's his name, is it?
It's not Tito.
Sorry.
Always seems like in jewelry making videos people leave out some of the most important steps. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Because some people say that you
talk too much.
And you talk,
waffle.
and I don't think you do that. I think you're just very thorough. And again, it's about not leaving people behind and not making assumptions about people's knowledge about things, because the minute you make an assumption, you're potentially making something incomplete, aren't you?
Yes.
So,
and don't get me wrong, anyone can come along and start a video straight away, but you need to have a bit of a background about why you're doing it. And I think that is important. Some people come on YouTube and they go, it's a 9-minute film, and the first 3 minutes he waffles. I don't waffle. It is important stuff. It builds the foundations to what's going to happen in the next 6 minutes or however long it is. And if I go over a point more than once, it's because it's an important point to go over.
But then if you don't want to listen to the waffle, how much you're actually getting out of the experience as well is the thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Thomas has been making a pendant earstuds. Now working on a pendant with the 12mm amethyst from my sister. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Any news on the new At the Bench platform timeline? Rebecca's asking.
Is that to
on the forum? Do you mean
on the forum? I'm not quite sure. What do you mean?
Can you give us a bit more detail, Rebecca, please, lovely?
The Bench platform. We were going to be changing over the form to something completely different, but then we couldn't take all the information over with us. So we worked on that, and we kept the form as it was, but we added some extra functionality towards it. Things like you can update your profile picture, you can change your name, you can actually message people as well, public messaging, you can add friends. It's also got the latest topics and latest posts as well. So is that what you mean? I'm not quite sure.
Okay. Jonathan's asking, have you ever worked with Argento?
I have never worked with Argento. Yeah, straight away. No, I've never had the need to. So I don't know. And I know it's very hard to work with.
Marlon is saying, I'm starting at the jewellery store. I already cut stones and want to combine the two. I made my first ring that is on my YouTube. I have been watching your videos and it's been a lot of help.
Thank you very much indeed. Really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Tammy is saying, I may be mistaken, but I believe I bought fire agate from eBay, but it was a couple of years ago when I bought a bunch of random stones and cabs. There's a lot of unique stones there. Yeah, that's the thing with eBay. Sometimes you're lucky, and sometimes you're really not. Okay. Where are we? Stephen, sorry I'm late. I was getting registered at Goldsmith's assay office. I'm legit. Yay!
Well done, Stephen.
Brilliant. Great news. Susan is saying fire agate is the opal of agates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No, it's
I
can't think of the word. Not clear colour. Not opalescence.
Fire.
Sounds like what sounds like opalescence?
Sparkalescence.
Oh no.
Gemstone.
I know, I've forgotten the term, but it's iridescence.
Iridescence could well be.
Yeah.
While casting director, the clay was spinning in the mould. Don't know what that's all about. While casting, why would the clay spin in the mould? Warren, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Why would the clay spin in the mould? Give us a bit more information.
Beth saying, don't forget to hit the I love you too button today. Thank you. Okay. I'm saying I think it's great that Andrew always takes his time to explain everything in depth.
Yeah, because it's just not about getting in, getting out, is it? You actually have to know the background of everything.
Dana's saying, I want to say thank you. Been soldering for only 3 months. Watched all of your YouTube videos. I need lots of practice, but at least my technique is good. Thanks to you.
Good. Thank you very much
amazing.
Indeed. Thank you.
Okay, Gail is saying, as part of the members group, would you consider running a second-hand tools for sale section where members can sell and swap tools? There already is one, Gail, on the forum. If you go to the bottom of the forum, is it classified ads?
Nobody's used it. Marketplace, no one's used it yet.
If you go on if you're a paid member, go to the forum, right at the very, very bottom of the page, it's there. And you can post it.
Whenever you want, yes.
Yeah, so that is already on there.
We're not selling new tools, it's used tools that you don't necessarily need.
Yeah.
And if you want to put pictures on there, you can put some prices and put means of being contacted, but absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Tammy has reiterated that. I appreciate the fact that Andrew takes time to explain things and even repeats important info. I learn best that way. Lots of love for Andrew, isn't there, today? Fabulous. Thank you, guys.
Good, thank you. It's perking me up.
Yeah. Oh, bless. Andrew, your videos are gems.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. For your next interview, I recommend Stephen Satow on laser. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? You could get Steve on Zoom and do like a laser demonstration or something. That'd be a really cool thing to see, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, he's a lovely bloke, isn't he, Susan? Michael is looking forward to Andrew's video on adjustable saw frames. 10 minutes of ranting of why you shouldn't use one and 5 seconds of him throwing one in the bin.
That's pretty much it, yes.
Yeah, but I made a shock discovery, didn't I, in the workshop?
You don't have it. You've got no.
Need to go
proof.
Well, you wait till next Monday and I'll show you proof. You want proof? I'll get you proof.
Years ago, we were selling some tools, and we bought a whole load of tools. We bought a whole load of things like borax combs and borax dishes and slide verniers, all those sort of things. Bought a whole load, and we sold nearly everything off, except for a few adjustable saw frames. And Louise found the box. They're all brand new. They're still got.
To be fair to him, they are all still in the packet.
They're there. You did take a photograph. I think it's about 5 adjustable saw
frames. It was
frames.
Like a dirty little secret, wasn't it? It was like in a dusty box on a high shelf that you didn't be able to reach, did you? But I did, and I uncovered them.
But I do have one, and I use it for demonstration purposes only. But you're quite right. 10 minutes ranting why you shouldn't have one, and pick it up and just drop it in the bin. Totally right.
People like them.
They do.
It's,
Rebecca, you mentioned new software. Yeah, I think the software was to do with the forum. That was all that was to do with. We have installed new software to do other bits and pieces. So as it is at the moment is as it is. if that makes sense.
Okay, Julie is asking, what are your views about using glue? Don't do it, Julie.
Using
You don't
glue.
want to put that in your body. Oh, yeah, made a joke, sorry. Nobody laughed. Okay.
I don't know what, sorry, it's just what I've my head down.
Yeah, okay, you're a bit tired, aren't you? I was taught it's a complete no-no, but they did use it on all the glitters.
You do have to use glue to attach pearls and that sort of thing. Yes, you do. I think they got it wrong on all the glitters because Dan said, how long does super glue take to dry? And we don't think it was super glue. We think it was a 2-part epoxy resin. For this.
Can't say Aldite.
It's Aldite 2-part epoxy resin. Yes, you can. And you need it, or you need some special pearl cement for attaching pearls. But yes, you can use it.
But yeah, don't recommend super glue.
No.
B Demon is saying, I've been watching At the Bench for about 4 years now. I will rewatch videos to look for the tips and tricks to help make my work easier and better. These Q&A sections are the icing on the cake.
It's very nice. Thank you very much. And it is true. You can watch a film and it goes in, but you can watch a film again and you think, oh, I actually didn't hear him say that. If that's possible, I keep saying it. But then I'm sure there's lots of little tips and tricks that you miss as you go along. Perhaps you're just looking for the main pointers without listening to what goes on in between. Perhaps when you rewatch a film, you go, do you know what? Yes, I didn't hear that last time, but it makes total sense.
Tammy is saying, this is probably a dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question, Tammy. And when I go to my project area, there's 3 projects that are dated before I joined. Why is that?
No idea.
Mrs.
Lloyd. Or it could well have been... perhaps we obviously did a lot of tests beforehand.
I'm going to check on your account, Tammy. I'm going to write it in my diary now.
Perhaps they were left over from days previous when, not necessarily on your account, but perhaps we did an awful lot of testing. So perhaps they were left on there.
Oh, actually, I'll need your email address. Can you email me, Tammy? Louise@andrewberry.co.uk.
Tammy sent us a ticket, so we got.
Oh, fab. Okay, great. I will. Yeah, we'll look into that for you, Tammy. I'll see if we can
delete them for you, and I don't know why that would be. Perhaps the clock was wrong. Perhaps the date was wrong. I don't know. We'll have to ask Steve and see if he can remove them for you. I do apologise for that.
Well, I'm guessing she doesn't want them removed. Just the date, correct? Or we'll find out why it's happening anyway. We'll look into it for you, Tammy.
Are the projects yours or are they not yours? I don't know. Just let us know if they're not yours.
Well, less than theirs, otherwise why would you be worried about them? Not worried, but
probably the date was wrong there at the time, wasn't it?
Okay,
because there was a conflict. Because also on the forum, if you notice, when the forum was introduced first, the dates and the times were all wrong. You just put a post on there and it says, "Oh, Andrew was live 11 hours ago," and actually it's about 11 seconds ago. It was because there was some conflict between some pieces of coding on there, but now that has been corrected.
It's happened on the forum, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Gail, okay, thank you. Gail is saying, I've just bought a Ford and wax carver. I want to make a single hand that will eventually hold a round crystal ball. How should I start?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. But what you've got to do, you've got to obviously start off with a block. And then you have to on all the different faces on the side, you need to I don't know how you're going to do it, but you need to draw out the hand shape. And then on the top section, you've got to draw out the hand shape. And then when you come along, then you've got to start to carve out the hand. I can't really tell you much more than that, but you just have to keep visualizing how this hand is going to look within the wax and start doing it bit by bit. Obviously, if you've got like a top view, you can, in theory, could cut out all that wax quite easily. There's nothing underneath it. But from the side, you can't necessarily cut all the way through and cut this out because your thumb's in the way, so to speak. So it's a lot of moving the
Okay.
Oh dear. Yeah. So it'd be a matter of just trying to imagine the hand within the wax and just carving away the large areas and then doing it little bit by little bit.
Okay. KOH, new to soldering, butane, home setup. Could you let me know what other metals can be soldered using copper and silver?
What the metals can be soldered using copper and silver? I don't really understand.
Currently using copper and silver, I would guess, but what else can be soldered at home using
Brass.
beauty?
You can use brass. Obviously, as long as it's not a huge piece of brass or a huge piece of metal, the small little butane torches will be fine. But brass, you can do nickel, silver. You can do silver, copper, and gold as well. But you won't be able to do platinum. It doesn't go hot enough.
Okay. Stephen is saying, talking of you selling, could you start selling the lubrication cone you have on your peg?
It was available from, I think that was from Rio, and that is Burlife. So it's the actual brand Burlife, and you can buy them in those little special cones with the adapter that just hooks onto the side of your peg. But it is Burlife, so I think we did break it down. It snapped off, so Jason and I melted it all down. We rebooted it, but yeah, Burlife it is.
Okay. Claire's saying punishment giveaway for trolls. I think you mean the adjustable. So.
Wouldn't give you the satisfaction.
Okay. Dana is saying, is it much different to solder rose gold? Rose
gold, you're going to get a lot of. If you don't quench it in the acid, you're going to get a lot of oxides because of the copper. But apart from that, it's exactly the same. You can get a rose gold solder to use if you wanted to. The rose gold solder is never going to be the same color as the rose gold metal that you've got. But try and use rose gold. It would be better than using yellow. Okay. I'm just going to blow my nose a bit.
Yeah. KOH, my dentist gave me a book for soldering. I told him I got the basics by using your site. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Rebecca is saying you had issues too when accessing from your cell phone. I was sure that people's work. Rebecca, can you send me an email? Louise at andrewberry.co.uk, and I'm going to look into that for you. And we'll try and see why that's happened.
Is it from work? Is that how you say from work?
Yeah.
It could be the work is stopping it coming through, because I know we got a couple of schools, and a couple of the schools were blocking the website.
Oh, okay. So where are you accessing?
So you have to whitelist the website, otherwise the school or the work.
But it shouldn't show.
I was showing other people's work. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that bit.
Yeah.
Had issues too when accessing for myself.
That was probably the members gallery then, was it? I would imagine.
I don't know, maybe.
I'll look into that. Yeah, drop me a line, Rebecca, Louise at andrewberry.co.uk, and we'll get that sorted out. Okay.
Cage pendant is there. Good.
Jonathan is saying, am I correct in assuming that a hand blowtorch won't be enough to melt silver for lost wax casting?
No, it won't. Not at all. You can only melt if the small little handheld ones are only good for, I suppose, 5 or 6 grams. You can go up to the larger ones, this sort of size, and they're good for melting down about 20 grams, 30 grams maximum. But you're going to be there a long time if you're going to have to melt down all that metal for lost wax casting. So no, I definitely get a sievert, definitely, or as Susan says, oxygen and propane, definitely.
Okay, Post-Moderna member saying, greetings from Holland. I love your channel, learning all I can. Is it a good idea to start with aluminium for jewellery making instead of silver, just for practice?
You can use it for bending, for shaping, for sawing, for punching and for forming, that sort of thing, but you won't be able to solder it. We had this conversation a few months ago, didn't we? You won't be able to solder it because as soon as you cut it, it starts to oxidize straight away. The moment you cut it, you can't keep it clean. So aluminium is great, it's cheap, but you won't be able to join it or solder it or put any fittings onto it. But it's great for bending, for shaping, for cutting, all that sort of thing.
Okay. Tammy, do you think those project categories may have been ones that saved as favourites? Yeah, we'll leave them. We won't change anything at all. Yeah, but I'll look into it for you. Yeah. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed one. 122. What is the average cost to carve something like the size of a large coin area and say bird wings or a leaf across the coin size?
We've no idea. There's a guy in the UK called Russell Lounsborough. Russell Lounsborough. He's just released a book all about wax carving. and they do an awful lot of intricate wax carvings all the way for people around the world. So perhaps you get in contact with him. That's Russell Lounsborough, I think the gentleman's name is.
Okay.
Small Beholder Pearl. I better thank Elizabeth. And Louise is suffering as well, but she isn't suffering as much as me.
No, well, nobody could they?
No, you're right. There's coming out of me today by the sounds of it.
You're all right.
I'm all right.
Okay. Oh, there's another question. Undead Ducky. I love the videos. As someone who is just starting and learning, you have been a massive help.
Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. I was wondering if it is a good idea to stock up on silver casting grain right now with the market going nuts. Did you see that the other day? Somebody put on a forum.
I saw the rhodium came down. I didn't know about silver, but I suppose that it is, isn't it? It's like when we used to do an awful lot of castings at the Welsh range. When the gold price was as low as what we thought, we would buy a couple of £1,000 worth just to keep it there.
We do that with all stock. When we know prices are going to go up, we buy what we know we're going to sell in bulk because we'll make more on it when we sell it.
Yes. So that's the thing. You've got to play the market, haven't you? You don't know whether it's going to go up, whether it's going to go down. Just got to take your chance. And sometimes it'll be you think the silver is its lowest it's been today than it's been for 2 or 3 years, and suddenly tomorrow it'll go lower again. It's just one of those things. It's like scrap prices, and the scrap price is changing daily. People come in to sell scrap to us and they go, is it a good price? Is it a good time to sell? If I know that, I could have made millions.
Exactly.
You just never, not quite millions, but you never know these things, do you? So you just go, and that's the thing, isn't it? And if you find that you buy a lot of silver and it goes down again tomorrow, just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, luck of the draw sometimes, isn't it? Just do the best you can to make the most of what you can put your hands on, the resources that you've got. That's all it is, isn't it?
Clean melt silver with rhodium plating. Take the rhodium plating off first because it will ruin the ingot. It will ruin the melt. You've got to take that rhodium off completely, and the only way to do that is by actually filing it off. Can I buy this nickel silver from one of the shops in Birmingham? Because that's where yes, you can. It's called nickel silver, but there's no silver in it whatsoever. It's just nickel and it's just white.
Why is it called nickel silver? Because that's quite misleading, isn't it?
It's not silver, it's a silver colour. I used nickel silver when I was in uni. Couldn't afford silver.
You shouldn't call it nickel silver then if it's just nickel. Why don't you just call it nickel?
Don't know. I'm not allowed to. I don't know.
It's a misnomer, isn't it?
Yes, I'll tell them off. I'll
write to them. I'll write to this evening very sternly.
Say, do you know? Yes. Use bars to practice with. You're more than welcome. Come on, Kenneth, you're on. Good to see you,
thank
Kenneth.
You, Kenneth. That's lovely feedback. Tammy is saying, I calculated the cost of grain versus making my own, and it's a huge saving, but it's a pain. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? It's kind of like the saving versus the time lost, isn't it? Because we found this with a bit of casting we did lately, and you could have done it, but it just would have been so time consuming and labour intensive that it was just easier to use casting company, for the volume.
Admittedly, we spent like £1,000 on the casting.
I know you had a fit with the bill came up by sensible off, didn't you?
But then again, it's £1,000 that we've paid out, and the percentage of that obviously was the silver, but I hadn't had to lift a finger, because otherwise I would have had to have injected all those waxes. Perhaps they wouldn't even come out.
Yeah.
Then I got to put them on a tree. Then I got to put them in the flask, do the investment, do the burnout, melt the silver, clean them up, cut them off, everything. There's so much involved in it.
But it comes down to your resources, doesn't it? If time is your resource, then you're going to cast it yourself and do the extra, whether it's casting, whatever activity we're talking about. But then if, we all have our limitations, whether it's financial, time, and it's going to be different for everybody, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just doing whatever's best and most efficient for you, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
And just finding that out.
And obviously, if someone comes in and says, I want this made with this gold, and you'll make it from that. It may take you a whole day to do. But if you're doing it on a commercial basis, Jason said, we can do that, we can cast it, but he wouldn't be the one who'd be doing it. So, did Andrew answer, is there a industry standard on rendering normal stroke enlarged size? Don't know, Paul, what you mean.
Gail, where are the nicest places to move to in Wales? Ooh, I love Brecon.
Breccon's a nice
Breccon's
area.
lovely.
You've got the Brecon Beacons. You've got Brecon Beacons on your doorstep. You've got sort of Cardiff to go down to in about an hour.
But then we're lucky where we are because we're in South Wales, aren't we?
Yes.
So we are pretty much equidistant between the coast and the countryside. So we've got the Brecon Beacons north, Cardiff the city, and the coast then south. And everything's like half an hour away, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, yeah. Less than that, the Brecon Beacons. So yeah, we are in a good situation there, good place.
Yeah. But West Wales is gorgeous as well. There's so many lovely places in Wales.
9% Welsh.
Welsh.
Welsh. Drawing. Is there an industry standard on drawing? Well, actually, to size, is it? I think if there is no industry standard. Obviously, everyone likes to do it the right size, but sometimes you can't get enough detail. So perhaps you would enlarge it, double the size, 4 times the size, something like that, just to get the detail. And I think if you're doing drawings, technical drawings, and you put dimensions on there, then really ideally it should be the right size. Absolutely.
Okay. Elizabeth is asking, what size ingot mold do you use when you're making wire?
The smallest one. If you use it, if you use an ingot mold that's going to be too big, too wide, you're going to have to then start rolling down quite a bit just to get it down to the size of the smaller ingot mold. So I'd always start off with quite a small ingot mold, and that's about 6 millimeters square, something like that. Because when you pour the metal into it, it'll run into the long length, and then it'll only take a few passes with the rolling mill before it's nice and square, and then you can carry on either rolling it down or taking it through the draw plates. So what is the best size? It's the smallest size. Less work.
Talking about nickel, Susan has said, watch out for a nickel skin reaction. That's really important because it can be an irritant, can't it?
Yeah.
It's a common allergen.
Yeah, I'd say use it for practice, but don't necessarily use it as a finished piece.
But yeah, just be careful. And also, somebody else made a really important point. 122. If a jeweler grinds, carves, files an ounce. No, sorry. Yeah, no, your point was important too. But Lisa said some of those jewelry metals came out with new guidance, of fume toxicity. So I would check when you say home jeweler. Sorry, I forgot which one, but I thought nickel silver.
Okay.
So yeah. If it's going to be nasty stuff, I don't know.
Use it then,
yeah, and just something to bear in mind. I don't know anything about that, but yes, I do know it is common allergen and irritant. 122. If a jeweler grinds, carves, files an ounce, hands me back the finished product, are you expecting to be handed back the remains from the ounce? How does that one work between jeweler and customer? Oh, Uncle, yes, we've got dinner reservation. For God's sake.
Yeah, you do have to. Yeah, you're right.
No, but answer this.
Yes. So 122. Yeah. It's a tough question. I like to say that the customer would lose about 10% of what they give you. So if they give you 40 grams to do something with, they're going to get back about 35, 36 grams. Because even though you don't actually physically sort of cut off pieces, when you come to file, you can't really give that back, can you? You can't give that back. You sand, you buff, you polish. All these are little tiny little microscopic little particles of metal. You can't possibly give all that back at all. So that would be my argument when it comes to that. Obviously, if you're making up, say, a ring and you cut the ends off, but then those are solid little pieces, in theory, you could give those back, but we always say 10%, and that we incorporate that into the price of what we're charging the customer. If they want it back, we just said, well, you can't, because it's all little bits of dust. And if you cut any solids off, we will give you the solids back. But otherwise, it is little bits of dust, and we can't give you that back. It's just
like natural attrition, isn't it, in the manufacturing process? So
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I have to say, Susan said, don't grind or sand nickel without a respirator.
Okay, let's just not work with nickel silver.
Yeah, just avoid nickel. It sounds like it might be quite nasty. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
That's about it.
We better go and
We're going to go
wash
down
up
now.
for dinner.
I got the same shirt I had on yesterday, so I can't wear. Obviously, I had a t-shirt on under me yesterday, so I can't waltz in with the same shirt on, can I?
Better not, yeah.
And you're looking very smart. You don't need to.
Thanks. I do need to freshen it.
Professional.
Okay. Everybody's been so kind, haven't they, today? You're always
been
kind.
Very
but
nice, yes. Yes.
We're going to get your head through the door now, are we?
No, it's pounding at the moment, so
Oh.
yeah. Don't do nickel silver then. Glad you caught it. Enjoy. Yeah, we're here for a few more days, and I'm actually going to go and see the boys in Walsh in Biggin Hill. I'm going to see one of the CEOs of Walsh. His name is Patrick, and I'm going to be seeing him on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Excellent.
Great chat from the hotel. Thank you very much. Sorry I didn't have a whiteboard or whatever, and sorry we weren't in our normal surroundings, but it's a bit more cozy on the sofa, isn't it?
Thanks on that note.
And on that note, we're going to go. Good night.
Okay, right. Beach Q&A. Yay, that'd be good.
If we could, couldn't it? Yes.
Yeah, Louise, you can keep Andrew's ego in check. I do try.
Oh, she does. She really does. Hot toddies are good for cold. Well, yeah, we were on the wine last night, and that really didn't help much. So perhaps I'll be on the whiskies tonight. Then.
Oh dear. I'm going to be good. I've got to concentrate tomorrow. I've got another 2 days. Looking at stones. I can't wait. Brilliant.
So, and everyone, thumbs up. Appreciate it. Take that. And again, there's somebody who's come on who's just giving us an egg.
What, you got an egg?
Come on, seriously. We're in a hotel room. It's cash. Come on. So everybody, tea with rum. Good against colds. Try some wasabi for your cold. We're in a hotel. Where are we going to get wasabi from? Wasabi nuts.
You're not very good at wasabi. You've tried that
hot.
before, haven't you? I can get him out your eyes.
I'm going to stay there.
Right. Okay.
On
that's
that note, we're going to go now.
Okay.
Everyone, take care. Thank you so much indeed.
Have you got the slide in place, Andrew?
No. Don't forget, if you're a member of At the Bench, we have the monthly competitions that you can win all these prizes. You haven't got to do anything. We're just going to draw your name out of the hat. Got to be a paid member. Don't forget, check out the forum. Love you to check that out. Start some topics, answer some that's already on there, which would be cool. I suppose I'm going to go now. We're going to go and freshen up, as Louise says, and we're going to have some dinner. And we will see you all very shortly. Don't forget next Monday, which will be the 7th of June.
Wow, it's going to be June.
For our next question and answer. Usual time, 4 p.m.
Same place?
But no, we're not going to be here.
No, we're going to be in the same place.
We're going to be in the same place, yeah.
Okay.
So everyone stay safe, everyone. Thank you all for coming on this afternoon.
Thank you for all the lovely kindness. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Everyone, take care. We will see you next Monday. Bye for now. I got to turn this off.
You've got to do it, yeah. You're doing my job.
It's old-fashioned, isn't it? Everyone take care. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.